Today is the 25th of August 2024 and it is 1 p.m. in Barbados, and we're starting today's drive from this solar farm that you can see a bit of on the right, and the Bomiston pumping station in St. John. So we're just coming down here just to give you an idea of how it can begin. This is the pumping station to the right of us. What do I mean by pumping station? The Barbados Water Authority has various pumping stations across Barbados, and we normally hear about different plants being down. This is Bomiston, and the area is called Cherry Grove, and we're hoping to have a free pass because there's some sort of rally happening today, which we weren't aware of, and the road may be closed. But we are in Cherry Grove in St. John, the lovely St. John. For those of you who've seen our Exploring St. John video or drive will realize that there's a lot that we excluded because it's too much to do in one video. But we're taking this drive today to enjoy some green country life. As you can see, there's green to the left, green to the right. Just large expanses of land, some residential properties quite large as well. And here we can see the rally activity ahead of us, and that road is closed. It's happening up there, so we make a left on Guinea Road and continue into St. John. This is Highway 4, and there's not much to say about this area because it's just agricultural land, but there's a big solar farm on our left, and it's also what they call wind turbine. So energy is being created from wind as well as solar panels, and we'll just try to just turn back to give you a view of it. We'll just turn where these vehicles are turning also. So you see that sign there, it says Guinea Solar. The name of this establishment going up there is Guinea Solar in St. John, in Guinea, St. John. And we are turning here just to let you see the wind. So this is how energy is being created. So as you know, Barbados is very big on renewable energy, and there's a whole drive and a whole industry that is now developing, similar to tourism and other industries, financial services, renewable energy is an industry in Barbados, and this facility here, Guinea Solar, has both solar panels and wind. The renewable energy industry in Barbados is at somewhat of a standstill at the moment due to negotiations between the Fair Trading Commission. Look at this large solar farm on our right. Discussions between the Barbados Light and Power and the Fair Trading Commission, and challenges by interveners who object to rate increases and so on, and it's a whole long complicated situation, but the bottom line is that it has brought the industry to a bit of a standstill. So there are projects waiting, but there are many that are up and running and people are earning from it, generating energy and making a contribution to saving the planet. Of course, for many people, they don't really care about fossil fuels and reducing carbon emissions. It's just really about making a profit, because the generation of energy is big business. And even the Barbados Light and Power is involved in renewable energy. Here's a car going down to the rally. Oops, another car. So this is Guinea Hill. We covered this area in our Exploring St. John video, but today we are still in St. John, but we're going to be doing a few things differently to cover areas that are important in St. John that weren't covered in that Exploring St. John video, and then take you on a nice scenic drive. That's another rally car there. So rallies as a sport in Barbados is a big thing, and you know, cars coming from different islands to compete. I should say from different countries, because it's not just limited to the Caribbean. So we're gonna make our way across Highway H when it's safe to do so, and come up Stuart Hill. But this is really Massiah Street. We actually had one of our subscribers make a request for us to come along Massiah Street, so here we are. Nice little village. You can see some lovely little homes. Here's the Massiah Wesleyan Holiness Church. Turn here because it makes a loop. If we continued along that road, it would take us out of St. John and down into some other areas. There's a lovely view there of Ragged Point. This road is a bit rough. It's called Lovell's Road, but it's also known as Massiah Street. I don't know how to explain that Stuart Hill is also Massiah Street and this Lovell's Road is also Massiah Street, but this area is what is known as Massiah Street. So I think maybe it's a situation where area may be Massiah Street. I don't know historically, but what I do know is that this is Massiah Street and this is Lovell's Road. So we are making a sort of a U to get back onto Highway H. It's one of the bad roads, but this is deep country, so I guess there's no great focus on fixing these roads at the moment. It's not as used as some of the roads that are being fixed, but I'm sure eventually some attention will be paid to this one, because as you can see it's quite rough. There's another rally car out there. So we rejoined the main road. So we just made that loop, like a U through Massiah Street, and we're back on Highway H. Past the Lodge School on our left, which was explored in a previous recording. The turnoff for the Codrington School on the right, International School. This is a nice Sunday drive. A bit hot, it's 32 degrees. But if you use the air conditioning unit, it makes the drive a bit more pleasant. But nothing beats having the lovely fresh air coming in, but we can't do that as well as record this successfully because the wind will create problems for our recording. Out here. So you see on this little drive with us, you can see inner Barbados. Barbados is known for tourism, but there's so much more, as we keep saying in these videos, which is the purpose of the videos, to show the inner workings of Barbados. It's not just all about the beach, but people come here to do little hikes and so on. There are gullies and places that you can explore, of course not on the scale of places like Dominica and Trinidad and even Tobago, but it's still, for what it's worth, a place that you can do things like this, enjoy the nature. So as we make our way along Highway H, we turn here with this rally car. If we went straight there, we would get to the St. John Parish Church, but we're coming here just to show you the David Thompson Health and Social Services Complex. You can just reverse into this yard so you can get a nice little view of it. This complex is named for the late Prime Minister David Thompson, and let me show you here what you can see: the ocean. Okay, so from this Highway G, we just turn into the David Thompson Health and Social Services Complex. It's dedicated to the memory of David John Howard Thompson, QC MP, Prime Minister of Barbados from January 16, 2008 to October 23rd, 2010. That's when he died. And he was the parliamentary representative for the parish of St. John from 1987 to 2010. And the plaque was unveiled by then Prime Minister of Barbados, the Right Honourable Frondell Stewart, QC MP, on the 20th of November 2015. So, for anyone living, and there's a branch library in here, the National Library Service. So it's sort of a little complex, and for any Barbadians who have not been home in a long time, that would be something new for you. So we make a right here. And of course, if you took the right here, it would take you to the church, but we are going Gall Hill via 4 roads. This is the cemetery to the left, public cemetery, and you can see another rally car going along. So we are now on Highway 3B. Horatio Cook Sports Complex. Just gonna turn here so that you can see what it looks like, a nice recreational area. You can see a park there, play park, the Gall Hill play park. This is Gall Hill in St. John, not Gall Hill in Christchurch. Gall. So we just turn back. There's even a little set here, play set like a gym. So the people of St. John have several amenities to make themselves comfortable. It's one of the parishes that was said to be neglected many years, so it tends to be a bit of a political football, because the politicians would always argue that it is forgotten and make all of these promises as we enter Clifton Hall, making that point that there's a problem with water and there's this problem and that problem, and so there's been a lot of development in St. John. Some places have had water brought to them after many years of water problems, and it goes like that. So if you go straight, you can get to Venture, and this is on the way to Martins Bay, which we covered before, so we're not gonna do too much out here. We're just trying to show the road network and show how to get out of the country using these roads if anybody wants to explore. This drive is one that you can use to get out of the country and into Bridgetown and other areas. Just show you this lovely view of the east. And since we covered this area already, we're not going all the way down. If you're interested in seeing more of this piece of road, please look at our video, our recording of, it's named Exploring St. John. So even though we've started here today from St. John, the purpose of this drive is not to explore St. John per se, but to demonstrate how to get into the city from this area. So you're going to get to see a different view of Bridgetown, entering Bridgetown from the country. So it may be a bit of a long drive today. If not, we may have to break it up into 2 videos. So Paris Hill, it's a little narrow road here that they've probably cut through over 100 years ago. Right, so we come back onto Highway 3B. Right at this junction here, you can see the Horatio Cook Sports Complex. We just passed here to show you on the left, the little recreational park, and then we went into the road heading down to St. Martin's Bay. So this is the Gall Hill Community Center, and if you use this road, Highway 3B, we're going to show you how you get into the city from here. So if you get lost, if you come to Barbados and you're taking a drive and you go into the country, as you can see, the bus stop says to city. So if you're ever lost in Barbados, find a bus stop, and if it says to city, that means you're heading in the right direction. If it says out of city, that means you're making yourself more lost and going deeper country. And then try to find Highway 3B. That's if, of course, if you're in St. John and you don't know where to go, find Highway 3B, which this is. And we make our way down to the city of Bridgetown from deep country. Well, deep country is relative, but for Barbados, we just turn off into the Catholic Church, which is right next door to Verdun House. As you can see there in the blue building, that's an area that deals with addiction, drug addiction, and people go there to get rehabilitated and get sober again. This is the Marian Retreat House at the back of the Catholic Church, which is a center, the Marian Retreat House, a center where Catholics who go to crusades or weekend retreats, that's the church ahead of us there, a very small building. The retreat house, there are several bedrooms and bathrooms on the floor, accommodation. So when the First Communion, the confirmation students come, you can see the little statues there. You can be sure it's a Catholic church. And the name of this church is Our Lady of the Rosary Roman Catholic Church in Verdun, St. John. And the Marian Retreat House, as I was saying, when the students come, there are different floors, and they tend to put the girls on one floor, the boys on one floor, and the teachers, and their bathroom facilities. It's just like a sort of a boarding school. And then of course people who are planning for marriage, they do engage encounter. Married couples do marriage encounters, so then they share the bedrooms and so on. And it's a nice little area to take a weekend off and do a retreat, spiritual cleansing. And that is the church that accommodates Catholics who live mainly in St. John and St. George. There are not that many Catholic churches in Barbados, as we've said in previous videos, because it's a predominantly Anglican country due to its British history. Look ahead of you, you can see these trees. It's a lovely green space with some benches that you can come there and sit and have lunch, picnics, or just take time out to think. I always enjoy this drive, this area. It's called Pool, P-W-L. Look, there are more rally cars making their way. So you can see this is pool number 2. Let's turn in here just to nip off Highway 3B just so that you can see the housing stock. So immediately on our right you saw a yellow wooden house. The next house is a concrete house. The one on the left under construction. So you can see there's a mixture of houses in here. It's sort of a residential area. I wouldn't say village. There's no village shop within, but there's some on the main road. There's some on the main road. So this is pool number 2. Goes right down. It's a nice little house there on the left. We can just show you quickly. So pool land number 2. Look at this lovely structure. Not anything large, but well put together. Very nice, right next to this huge house that is being built. Let's hope that it's finished, it actually gets completed. Pool land number 2, or pool number 2, and we just drive across, and that should take us to pool number 1. You can see these guys on the left there, behind that house. just sitting, talking, and doing whatever boys do on a Sunday. Pool land number 1. Just coming through here just so that our viewers can see what properties look like in the country. Look at this guy sitting there enjoying his beers. It's always so nice to see that. It's indicative of the peacefulness of the country. Those houses ahead of you there, they were never completed. It was a development by something called the Hope Project, and it was supposed to be a development. We're back on Highway 3B. The Hope Project was one where government was providing housing solutions for the category of school teachers and police officers, and they were given the land. The plan was, as we make our way down to Gun Hill, the plan was that they would be given the land and then they would build a home. This is 4 roads, by the way. This little junction here, you can turn left to get, this is the St. John Fire Station on the left. And if we made that left, we would get into St. George. So the deal was that you would get the land, obtain a loan to purchase the house, and the property would be yours. And then in exchange for the land, you had to give government the right to the roof, which it would then use to install a photovoltaic system for 20 years. So the government would win, and you would win, and the bank would win, and Hope would win because they got to build the houses. We're just making another turn off into Lemon Arbor. Lemon Arbor is an area in Barbados, but it was made popular because there's a little secret behind here. Now if you look beyond that house, you can see how beautiful the land is there. But I'm just showing you this little secret which I discovered some years ago. There is a business in here that does pudding and sauce on Saturdays, and you can come and dine, and it's a big line. You'll find lots of people. Parking is difficult, but you see this little place here, right down in here, the Village Bar. If you go down in there, you come on a Saturday and get some really nice pudding and sauce and other food as well. And you will hear people say, well, I'm going down to Lemon Arbor. This is where they come. And this is just a nice little secret that is not quite a secret, but it would be relatively unknown to visitors. And we encourage you to make a trip to Lemon Arbor on a Saturday and get some real good Bajan food, some good pudding and sauce. I don't know the owners, they don't know me, and this is not any advertising for them. This is just D&J Drives showing our viewers where to get nice stuff in Barbados. If the effect of it is advertising for them, well, good for them. We have no interest, financial interest or otherwise, in that business. More rally cars. So you see, we take on board feedback that we get from you. So if you're viewing this, you were that individual or individuals who asked us to showcase nice places to eat, you will see that we try our best to incorporate that information. Making our way down Highway 3B. We are now 35 minutes into this drive, so we're making some good time. So you can't get lost if you take a drive into St. John and can't find your way. Highway 3B. So we're just gonna stop here to let them pass. Okay, we have to be aware of other drivers. We can't be selfish. So we're trying not to go too fast so that you can get a nice view, but we're slowing down traffic behind us. That's another pumping station there on the right, Barbados Water Authority. Okay, so we are driving through St. George now. So if you're paying attention, you will see how we went from St. John into St. George all along Highway 3B. So this drive will take us through the Gun Hill signal station. It's an area of historical significance, and the area is Gun Hill, and then there's a signal station. That area, in that facility, you tend to find it's an area that hosts weddings and staff parties for various companies and different events, fetes and so on. A nice area that gives you a tremendous view of Bridgetown. See, all these cars are heading up to the rally. Wow. Saw that sign, but if we turn right here, there's an area called St. Augustine. So St. Augustine is a well-known area in Trinidad. Very few people know that Barbados has its own St. Augustine. Not as big and not as populated, but still St. Augustine. Yet another rally car. So we are now documenting the evidence of today's rally. Maybe in a few years' time, some driver or one of those drivers may see our video and remember what they did on this day. Coconut vending. Here we see a vendor on the left. That has become a big thing in Barbados over the years. And we make this right turn into Newbury to the Gun Hill signal station. You won't be able to see much from this angle, but at least you can see how to get there. So if you come to Barbados and you want to go to some event at the Gun Hill signal station, you make the left here. This is how you do it off Highway 3B. And it's also a nice area to come and get a good view. As you can see, there are some well-appointed homes in here as well. Very upscale properties. Some older ones that may need a bit of maintenance. So this is the car park on the left here, and you can see the sign says Gun Hill Signal Station and Events Venue. So when you go into that area, you get the benefit of the views and dining areas and a little balcony to look out, and we make our exit. You can see equipment there that assists with the signal. I guess because it's at such a high point, it's a good area to transmit from. And when you come through here at night, okay, just take a view here. This gives you a little idea of what you can see from up there. It's very nice. You can see all at the Hilton Hotel right through Bridgetown. Now where this brings us out is the Lion. I'm sure many of you who may be planning a visit to Barbados, if you look at sites to see, you will see there's an area with a white lion. These are the steps making their way to it. And if you look very closely, you might be able to see the lion on the left. It's a white monument just to the left of the camera. That's the famous lion where people come and take photographs. Unfortunately, we can't show it to you from here. But this is that area, so you can just jump off the bus and just walk right here back onto Highway 3B. And this is St. George, and look at how we came from deep country in St. John, Cherry Grove, and we are now in the middle of what is Walkers. We're coming up to Walkers in St. George. Size of the houses, both right and left. Okay, so from somewhere around here should be walkers. Just make a quick turn into what is called Walkers Park East, just so that you can see a bit of the properties in there. We're not gonna go right through because we're now at 45 minutes. So this gives you an idea of some of the properties in here. From my information, I understand that the late Prime Minister Tom Adams lived in this area in his private capacity, but of course, as Prime Minister, he lived in Elaro Court, which is the official residence of the Prime Minister, where he died. This was the Glebe Polyclinic on the right. It's now called the Frederick Miller Polyclinic, named for Frederick Miller based on his contribution to national development. And I made the point on previous videos that that is something that Barbados gets right. It finds ways to honor its sons and daughters who made a contribution to development. This is the St. George Parish Church on the left, which we've covered before. And these individuals are memorialized and honored for their contribution. So we're now on Highway 4B. Because 3B we would have turned off to the left to stay on 3B. So we're now on 4B, heading towards Salters, St. George, Charles Rowe Bridge. So if you've heard of Charles Rowe Bridge, this is it. This is a landmark in St. George. Meet me at Charles Rowe Bridge or by the Chafette in Charles Rowe Bridge. If you're lost, come and meet me there and I'll show you the rest. That's Chafette on the right. And on the left is the Masonic Center. Turn left here on this entrance. We've covered that in a previous video, so we won't go into it. But just to say that the Masonic Center was constructed many years ago, I think over 10 years ago. And it's a project between the Scottish and English Freemasons, who both sold their respective temples in Spry Street, Bridgetown, and Pine Road in Belleville. And the proceeds of those sales were used to construct that big Masonic Center, which I gather holds 3 temples and a big banquet hall downstairs. So other people use that facility. For example, there's a church that rents the space and they keep their church there on Sundays, and at elections I believe it is used as a polling station, if I'm not mistaken. People have barbecues and various functions and dinners there on the downstairs. So that's the Masonic Center in Salters, St. George, and to the left is a new food court that's being developed here. A nice place to lime, similar to Worthing Square in Worthing, where you can get different food items. I gather there's going to be the installation of an ATM as well as slot machines. So this is going to be the next big place to lime in Barbados, just there in Salter, St. George. We are off Highway 4B and onto Highway 4 now. Highway 4 goes all the way from St. Michael into deep country. So we always make the points that these highways are named from 1 through to 7, and then there are letters. In this video we were on highways G and H. So you have the major highways, of which this is one, with numbers, and the secondary ones with letters for the most part. And then some of them have a combination of letters and numbers, like 3A, Highway 2A, which was also covered in this video, in this channel. And we approach the Norman Niles roundabout as we cross over the ABC Highway, which is named for Adams, Barrow and Cummins. We actually have a drive all about the ABC Highway, which covers all of the roundabouts. We give a little bit of information on each of the roundabouts, and for the most part they are all named for Barbadians who made a contribution to the development of the country. Right, we make our way down, I believe this is My Lord's Hill. Subject to correction, please. Or if this is not My Lord's Hill, at some point it does become My Lord's Hill. So our expert Barbadians out there, please don't crucify us for not having this name with 100% certainty. But the point is that we've taken the Norman Niles roundabout. We're coming along this road, which we believe with 80% certainty is My Lord's Hill. Like this got its name. Okay, yes, I just saw a sign there. This is My Lord's Hill that we are descending. Not sure how these places get some of their names, but my Lord. Back at ground zero. A little pumping station, a little gas station on the right. Now in this area you tend to find doctors' offices, and this is Welsh's in St. Michael. So if you've been following our videos, you will note that we have Barbados has a Welsh's in Christchurch, where our Oystons, or one of our Oystons videos commenced. There is a Welsh's, this is the Welsh's post office on the right. There is a Welsh's in St. Thomas for which we have a video. We did a lovely drive in Welsh's St. Thomas, and this is Welsh's in St. Michael. Oh, that dog. So if we continued straight, we would get to the president's house on the left, and if we made a left turn onto Government Hill and 2 Mile Hill, we would get to the Prime Minister's official residence, LRO Court. So we're just making a pause here to turn right to go down to Tweedside Road and Carrington Village. From Welsh's Road onto Tweedside Road. The Member of Parliament for this area is the Honourable Marsha Cadell, and this is her constituency office on the right. St. Michael South Central covers Carrington Village and surrounding areas. We've covered a part of this area before because our regulars will recognize this area here, the James Tudor roundabout, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital off to the left, and the Globe, what was the Globe Cinema on to the right here. It's no longer the Globe Cinema, but the building is known as the Globe. We're on Roebuck Street now, and we are making our way into the city. Hopefully, if you use this video and you plan a drive into the country, you will learn here from this video how to get into the city. The main thing is to find Highway 3B and follow the bus stop that says to city, not out of city. The Barbados Labour Party's head office on the left, and this is Harrison College. We've done several drives around this area, but we never entered the school. This is the famous Harrison College, and we just pause here. Just have to clear with security. So this is the office here. This building is as old as it was established. It says 1733. Here is the Central Bank building that you can see, and a playing field. The Central Bank building is just beyond those trees. That car park spot there says principal, so that's where the principal of Harrison College parks. And if you look to the left, you will see more playing fields out there, and here are other classrooms and buildings. So any Harrisonians looking on, this is your school. I think this is the hall to the left, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? It appears so. And here are the buildings. Harrison College is a well-kept school. Clearly someone takes the time to ensure that facilities are kept at a high standard. Not certain whether that is all government or the alumni or Harrisonian Association. I don't know, but you can see for yourself the quality of the buildings. Quite impressive. There's a commemorative wall, Harrisonian's commemorative wall down there. You can see the names of all scholars, and that gate is the exit. And we've done a number of drives passing that gate, so I'm happy that we have an opportunity to actually enter this school so that you can see what one of Barbados's long-standing schools, what it looks like. Let's just come through here. This is down to the back. So some people argue that this is the top school in Barbados. Some people say Queen's College. Some say Alexandra. Some say Christchurch Foundation. Some say the St. Michael's School. What do you say? I have no view on it. I always like to say I'm not from Barbados. I didn't grow up here and I didn't go to school here. I'm just happy to make these drives with my son to show you Barbados. I leave the argument about which schools were the best to general observers. Now if you look here, you'll see there's a list of Governors General. This is the old Harrisonian Memorial. Governors General who attended this school: Sir Winston Scott, Sir Dighton Ward, Sir Hugh Springer, and Sir Clifford Husbands. Of course, Barbados no longer has Governors General because Barbados is now a republic, and the office is now called President. The Prime Ministers who attended here: the Right Excellent Sir Grantley Adams, Right Excellent Errol Barrow, Right Excellent JMGM Tom Adams, who is the son of Grantley Adams, the Honourable Sir Harold St. John, the Honourable Sir Lloyd Sandiford, and Right Honourable Owen Arthur. So Harrison College boasts of having the most prime ministers, but I know, for example, Owen Arthur was first at the Coleridge and Parry School, aka CP, before coming here, I guess, to do sixth form. I'm not certain. I know that another prime minister's name that was there, I think Bree St. John, Sir Harold St. John, I believe he also attended Christchurch Foundation School when it was Christchurch Boys, and so it goes. So different secondary schools take pride in having produced prime ministers. I believe Mia Motley attended Queen's College, if I am not mistaken, and Frondell Stewart attended Christchurch Foundation, and that covers all of the prime ministers of Barbados. So we're on Crumpton Street now, and this is that gate, that back gate of Harrison College where we just turned. So we make our way into the city as promised, and we just showed you how to get from deep in St. John to the city. As we make our way down St. Michael's Rowe, so this brings us to the end of today's drive. We are at the corner of Marhill Street and St. Michael's Rowe. We want to thank you for your attention on this long video of 1 hour and 5 minutes, and to remind you to please share this with anyone planning a trip to Barbados, or anyone interested in Barbados, or to just Barbadians who live overseas and haven't been home in a long time. And please remember to share the video, subscribe to the channel, and like the video, because when you do that, it helps more people to see it just by the action of you liking it. So thank you, and we'll see you again next time.